Hi guys, this is Jan Gustafsson playing a session of Banter Blitz in the chess24 play zone. We'll go right there because I already have an opponent called ourchess from Spain. I'm white, I'm going to play 1d4 and I will explain all my deep thoughts behind my moves. I play c4 because it's theory, he goes d6, knight c3 he could go e5, so I start with knight f3. It looks like he's going for some old Indian kind of setup, which is not terrible. It's a little passive. White has a couple of decent ways to deal with it. I've never studied it in that much detail. In general, I think the setups putting the bishop on g7 instead of e7 are a bit more challenging. So I'll just make useful moves or half useful moves. h3 to put the bishop on e3. He plays a setup which I'm sure he's played in a bazillion blitz games already. He's making his moves very quickly, which I can't blame him for, and I will try to play it classically, close the center. In general, I've never been a big fan of this structure, but with the bishop on b7, there's always a bit of added incentive for going d5. Expecting him to play c5 here, c takes d followed by b5 or knight to c5. Might be a little more challenging, but he goes c5, and now I'm going to have to regroup a little bit, put my pieces on the b file. He plays some decent maneuvers as well, h6, knight h7, playing to go knight g5, exchange some pieces. I don't want to exchange pieces because I have extra space and it's not really in my interest to ease his task by getting rid of pieces. So I'm continuing with my plan of putting my heavy pieces on the b file. Next move is going to be rook to b1, threatening b takes c5, and his attack on the king side does not look all that scary between you and me. He doesn't have enough firepower there. One reason being his bishop is on b7 and not on c8. I don't see any sacrifices working, and he did lose his b6 pawn. So strategically this is going quite well. Greedy as I am, I'm also going to take on a6, so I'm 2 pawns up. I have to handle with a bit of care on the king side, but nothing that can't be stopped by playing king h2, covering up all these small weaknesses I have. Should be a winning position, but you never know in blitz. Of course I have to be quite careful, and I should not just switch to defending, but I should also make something of my queenside initiative. All these extra pawns. He can't go f5 yet. He tries rook b8. Can't blame him for that. And I will try to instigate some simplifications with queen a4, playing to exchange queens and also having a look at his bishop on a8. So queen b7 or queen c8 is probably what he's going to do, but they don't look all that promising because his pieces are still quite passive. Bring this guy into the game as well, knight b5, he plays bishop b7. Many tempting options here. Not sure where to put my rook. Put it on a7. Not sure I like this move actually. I'm slightly sidelining my pieces, but he helps me by exchanging this rook. And once again, if I don't blunder a trick on the king side, this is pretty much a winning position. I have all kinds of options. I'll try to keep my life simple, push the a-pawn as long as he's not threatening anything. I have been a little slow. Now he might be threatening f5, so I'll offer a queen exchange, which he can only avoid by giving me more pawns, which of course I'm always happy to eat. He goes f5, however, it's still not a huge attack. My pieces are coordinating quite well. Now he would have to exchange queens in order to avoid mate on f7. So far it's going well. He does not avoid. Oh, actually it's not mate. The knight is covering f7. There you see my deep calculation skills. Yeah. Always good to keep an eye on what's covered. I think h4 is a decent move. I can't see him activating his queen in time to hurt me, and the knight can't move because it has to cover that square, which I thought was mate in 1. Turns out it's not. What did he play? Queen a5? What kind of move is that? I can take it. Might have been a last-ditch effort if I pre-moved h takes g5. I did no such thing. So I'm going to win this game against ourchess, who played a passive but reliable setup. After d5, I think he should have taken on d5 and not played c5 with the bishop on b7. This structure is kind of unpleasant for black, and I believe I showed why just putting pressure on the b file. Don't want to praise myself too much. I did manage to confirm my favorite status in that game. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you in the chess24 play zone. Bye.